What would you say if a cop asked to search your car right now? If you say yes, you can hand over your rights in seconds. And if you say too much, you can give police the reason they need. Hit subscribe right now because what you're about to hear could protect you. Like this video now so you can find it fast when your heart is pounding. Here's the reality. When an officer asks to search your car, your job is not to argue. Your first job is to stop yourself from helping the search. I have analyzed over 200 body cam videos, and the same mistake happens again. Drivers talk too much. Drivers try to sound friendly. Drivers think yes is faster. It usually does the opposite. Let me show you exactly what you need to say, what you should never say, when you should ask if you're free to leave, and why stepping out of the car the right way can save you from a bigger mess. You're also going to hear the court cases behind this in plain English. So you know this is not internet fantasy. This comes from Supreme Court rulings. And yes, some searches still happen anyway, but your words can decide the outcome. Whether that search becomes a winning case against you or a losing case for them. Now let us talk about why this moment is so dangerous for you. A traffic stop starts small. Maybe you were speeding or a tag light was out. Then the officer starts asking side questions. Where are you going and coming from? Why are you nervous? Can I take a look inside? Most people have no idea. The stop can shift right there from a ticket stop into a criminal investigation. That shift happens fast, and once you give consent, you make their job easy. You also make it harder for your lawyer later. Here is the reality. Your goal is not to win an argument on the roadside. Your goal is rights. Keep your rights alive, stay calm, and avoid giving them extra facts. The first thing you do is refuse consent clearly and calmly. Here is exactly what you say. Officer, I do not consent to any searches. Word for word. Memorize that line. Say it in a normal voice. Do not whisper it. Do not scream it. Do not decorate it with jokes. Do not say, I guess so. Do not say, do whatever you want, or I have nothing to hide. You want one clean sentence. This is 100% legal. You do not have to give permission just because an officer asks, and that one sentence matters more than people think in court. Defense attorneys use this exact line because it draws a bright line. You gave no permission. That means police cannot pretend you seemed okay with it. Legal experts agree this is your strongest protection during a stop. Bad way. Most drivers say, sure, go ahead. I do not care. Then the search becomes a consent search and you made the job easier. Good way. Smart drivers say, officer, I do not consent to any searches. Then your refusal is on the record and police must rely on other reasons. Watch what happens when you use that line. The whole mood changes. The stop gets more serious, but it also gets cleaner legally. Now the officer knows you understand the question. Now there is no confusion. And that matters because of a case called Schneckloth versus Bustamonte. The Supreme Court said police can use consent if your yes was voluntary. That means your yes can open the door wide. Your no keeps that door shut. Another case, Florida versus Jimeno, matters too for the items inside. If you give permission to search, that can include bags and containers, if a normal person would expect it. So when you say yes, you give up a lot. You may be giving up way more than you think. Here's what you do not do. You do not explain why you said no. Do not say you had a bad experience. Do not say, my friend borrowed the car. Do not say, there is nothing illegal. Every extra word can become a clue, or at least a reason to dig harder. Your refusal should be short and boring. That is your power. And if the officer pushes back with, why not, do not take the bait. You simply repeat it. Officer, I do not consent to any searches. Same words. Same tone. No speech, no debate, no arguments. Former police officers have confirmed this works because there is less to play with. You are not fighting, you're not running, you are just not volunteering. Have you ever been asked this during a traffic stop? Drop a comment. The second thing you do is ask if you are being detained or free to leave. You look at the officer and say this, am I being detained or am I free to leave? Those exact words. Keep that line ready because timing matters. You do not blurt it out the second the officer walks up. Wait until you have handed over your license, registration, and insurance. Wait until the officer has basically handled the reason for the stop. If you already got your warning or ticket, that question becomes powerful. Here's the trick they do not want you knowing. A traffic stop stays tied to reason. They cannot stretch the stop just because they feel curious. They cannot fish forever because you look nervous. Rodriguez vs. United States says so. Supreme Court said police cannot prolong a completed stop for investigation, like waiting for a drug dog, unless they have reasonable suspicion. That means actual facts, not just a hunch. Bad way. Drivers say, I can wait. Then the stop grows longer and the officer gets more time to build a case. Good way. Smart drivers say, am I being detained or am I free to leave? Then the officer has to either let you go or explain the legal reason. Let me show you exactly why this works. That question forces clarity. If you're free to leave, the stop should end and you should go. If you are being detained, the officer has now committed to that position. That can matter later in court. You are making them define the moment. This comes straight from Supreme Court rulings. You are not being rude. You are protecting the timeline of the stop. If they say no, do not argue. Do not say, that is illegal. Do not grab your phone and start acting like a lawyer. You stay calm, you stay still, and you ask one short follow-up. What am I being detained for? Then you stop talking immediately. That question can expose whether they really have a reason or are hoping you help. Watch what happens when drivers skip this step. The stop drifts. 5 extra minutes becomes 10. 10 becomes 20. Then backup appears. Then you're on the shoulder wondering how a taillight became a full investigation. This is 100% legal for you to ask the officer. The third thing you do is obey lawful orders but never confuse obedience with consent. If the officer tells you to step out of the car, you step out slowly. You keep your hands where they can be seen. And as you step out, say the line, I will comply, but I do not consent to any searches. That sentence is gold. It shows you are not resisting, and it protects you from implied permission. A lot of drivers mess this up because they think refusing means refusing everything. That is not true. Pennsylvania v. Mimms says an officer can order a driver out. If they tell you to get out, you usually have to get out. Do not resist. Do not turn a search issue into a resisting issue. Those are different problems. Bad way. Most drivers say, no, I'm not getting out without a warrant. Then the stop can escalate fast. Good way. Smart drivers say, I will comply, but I do not consent to any searches. Then you stay safe. You are separating cooperation from consent. That distinction matters for the law. Police can order things for safety, but that does not mean you agreed to search. Legal experts agree this is your strongest protection against blurring the line. Do not make sudden moves. Do not reach into the glove box without asking. Keep your body boring. Keep your voice boring. The body cam will show it. If you ever need a lawyer later, that video matters more than anything. The fourth thing you do is never open anything for them yourself. Not your trunk, not your backpack, not your center console, nothing. If they ask you to pop the trunk, say, I do not consent to opening anything. If they repeat the request, you repeat the line. That is it. This matters because once you help, you make your refusal weaker in court. You make the search look voluntary. Florida v. Jimeno is the warning here. If you pop the trunk and open bags, you're expanding the search yourself. Bad way. Drivers say, okay, I will pop the trunk for you. Do not do that. Good way. Smart drivers say, I do not consent to opening anything. If police have probable cause, they may search anyway. But do not help. Your job is to stop handing them consent and stop turning maybe into definitely. I've analyzed hundreds of videos. Helpful drivers get searched just as fast. You do not have to be rude. You just have to be clear. Memorize it now. Rodriguez v. United States means police cannot drag out a finished stop. Pennsylvania versus Mimms means you must get out, but consent is separate. Picture the stop. Keep hands visible. Give documents. Do not over-explain. If you tell your life story and pop the trunk, you just help the search. Instead, say, Officer, I do not consent to any searches. Use the right way. Either way, you protected yourself. Subscribe to catch the next video. Recap. First, refuse consent. Second, ask if detained. Third, comply but refuse. Fourth, never open containers yourself. Stay safe, stay calm, and protect rights.